justice! No peace!
Cassandra Greene demands justice for 4 African Americans murdered 70 years ago. Every year, Greene directs a reenactment of a lynching which took place in 1946 at Moores Ford Bridge in the southern U.S. state of Georgia. The killers have never been identified. Can Greene break through the wall of silence that still surrounds the case?
We are not going to just sit back and just continue to see people die and not do anything. This is doing something, y'all. This is sending a statement. This is giving a message that it's not acceptable. It wasn't acceptable in 1946. It's not acceptable in 2016. Hello, somebody. That's right. Okay, so then that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. And so I'm just asking you guys, as usual, you know it's emotional. So I want you to just sort of, try to keep each other, love on each other. It's okay. Let's get busy.
Once a year, a group of actors gathers at the First African Baptist Church in Monroe, a small town in Georgia near Atlanta. The majority of the residents here are white. Some may have witnessed the crime committed decades ago, but they remain silent. Cassandra Greene is filling bags with fake blood.
All of these put in a bag, all of the blood.
They'll be used later today when she and the actors reenact the lynching.
Not going to die. I'm just thinking, trying to get them to push it up, doing that few seconds that the Klansmen are in. You think it'll be enough time for y'all to squeeze it up out of there real good?
Well, to poking the holes in it, we would just have to either poke holes and
push it. Well, push it. Okay, so that's perfect.
Cassandra Greene has herself been threatened by the Ku Klux Klan. Once a Klansman stood outside her front door with a weapon at the ready. She spent the night lying on the floor, paralyzed with fear.
But the style that he may have, I have to see it.
I would have to see it. I haven't talked to him today about it.
Okay, so we'll figure it out. Okay. We're definitely not welcome, that's for sure, and we know that. We've learned that over the years. So, I'm totally thinking about the entire killing of George, me, Marie, Dorothy, and Roger every second that I'm here. Every second that I'm here.
In addition to her work as a director, the rest of Cassandra Greene's life revolves around activism.
I haven't had a date in 16 years. Take a guess. I don't have a private life. I have no life.
In the church, someone makes an emotional appeal for justice in the case.
Please, Lord, let me live to see somebody come to justice. I don't care if it's not but 1 or 2. Where there's no justice, there is no peace.
No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
No justice!
The reenactment begins with an argument that will end in murder.
This white man put his hands on you. I want him to talk to me. I'm a man, Dorothy, not a boy.
Back in 1946, Roger Malcolm was involved in an argument with a white man. This scene uses language that was typical in the Deep South at the time.
Nigger! What are you doing on my property?
After the confrontation, Malcolm was arrested. He was later bailed out by his employer, who then drove Malcolm, his wife, and another black couple home. They were stopped on the road by an angry crowd.
And this is how this story began, with the stabbing of Barnett Hester by Roger Malcolm. It's not going to disappear. We're not going to disappear. We're here, we'll be here until there's some type of resolve. And it's not about dividing, it's about bringing reconciliation, but you can't bring reconciliation without truth. So the truth needs to be told and someone needs to be accountable.
After the meeting in the church, the actors drive to the sites where the original events took place.
So they have the baby, they have the bag. I gave each one of them one pen.
Okay, put your pen inside.
Cassandra
Put the-
Greene
give
gives
me-
the
put it
actors
inside,
some
but you
last-minute
can't see it right now.
instructions.
Put it in their pockets or something, okay?
Most of the audience has come from out of town, including motorcycle clubs and civil rights activists. None of Monroe's white residents are in attendance. An actor is delivering a speech made by Eugene Talmadge, a Georgia governor in the 1930s and 40s, and a vigorous advocate of segregation.
Now, what do I say? I say it's the law of the land this year, and some Negroes will vote. The fewer the better. But I say this, if I'm elected your governor, they won't vote in our Democratic white primary in the next 4 years.
We asked the actor who played Talmadge why no white locals are here for the performance.
Well, white people don't like to be reminded of this sort of thing. We like to pretend that the lynchings and the racist terror that was conducted in the South was the product of some ugly minority that had nothing to do with the mainstream of white society, and that's simply a lie. The truth of the matter is that racist terrorism was an intrinsic part of the political structure of the South following the fall of Reconstruction right up until 1964. And everyone who was in the white community who did not stand up against it forcefully, and which was the majority of people, they did not, were complicit, either actively or by omission, in these crimes. And no one wants to confront that fact.
Now the actors head for the actual scene of the crime, Moore's Ford Bridge, just outside of town. Despite rain, the reenactment continues. Those involved are not just concerned about what happened here 70 years ago. They're also concerned about the racism that they experience almost daily.
Okay, you guys can get in position. Can I please make sure everyone has the street right here clear?
A white mob blocked the street and stopped the car in which the two black couples were traveling.
Wade, you're gonna have to come up to them here, okay, just because of where we are.
We want that nigger Roger! Get him out of the car! Get him out of the car! Stab a white man. Will you, boy? You're gonna die, nigger. Please let the women go. Take it out of this car. Get out right now. Get out of this car. Move it, y'all. Move it. You never touch a white man. Two, three, fire!
swinging. Oh, in the southern breeze, strange fruit are hanging from the poplar trees.
Many of the people here are still outraged by these murders. They want to put a stop to the discrimination, even the hatred, that they experience every day at the hands of the local white residents.
These people will do anything in order to keep status quo. They do not want you up after 6 o'clock in Monroe and Walton County. Here where we stand, it's time for me to get ready to go home.
Today, Cassandra Greene has not managed to get through to white people who live in Monroe. But she says she will keep fighting for justice for those who were murdered at Moore's Ford Bridge.
You still gonna keep them, Cassandra? Huh? You gonna throw them away?
They literally died in the spot where we were. So when you think about the fact that 5 people lost their lives in that little spot, it's very painful for me. So it's very emotional. I feel like I'm not doing enough. This is not enough. We really need someone to come forward and say something, just for the family. You know what I'm saying? Just to give them a piece about what happened right in that spot on July 25th, 1946.
You got it.
Mama, step in the way. We're behind the camera.
What's going on in the Bowling Green? You guys down there?